The weight of yesterday is heavy, not because it still has power over you, but because you keep carrying it as if it belongs in your hands. Every choice, every mistake, every heartbreak, every loss has shaped the person you are, but none of them were meant to define you permanently. The echoes of your past whisper in your mind, trying to convince you that you cannot move forward, that you must stay where you once fell. Yet the truth is clear, the past is not meant to be lived in, it is a lesson, not a home. When you hold on too tightly to what has already passed, you give up the chance to walk into what is waiting for you. Before we go deeper, I want to ask you something. Watch this message until the very end, because every word carries a spark meant to awaken something inside you. And while you do, take a moment to write your warmest wishes in the comments, the kind that come from your deepest heart, and place this 777 beside them. These wishes are not just words, they are seeds released into the universe. What you speak with faith and intention gathers power. It creates an energy that multiplies, surrounds you, and eventually finds its way back into your life. One wish can begin a ripple that moves further than you could ever imagine. Think for a moment about the cycles you've been caught in, the memories you replay when you're alone, the regrets that sneak in when the night is quiet, the weight of things you wish had gone differently. They appear like walls that surround you, telling you there is no way out. But in truth, those walls are illusions built from fear. They are not made of stone, they are made of thought, and thought can be changed. The life you long for does not begin in the past. It begins the moment you decide to loosen your grip on what has already ended and step with courage into what is opening before you. Many people spend their whole lives waiting for the perfect moment to begin again. They think, when I feel stronger, I'll move forward. When I heal more, I'll take the next step. When everything is in order, then I'll rise. But that moment never comes because waiting only feeds the illusion that the past still has authority. The truth is, you will never feel perfectly ready. Growth does not ask for comfort. Freedom does not wait for certainty. The moment to choose yourself, the moment to leave behind the weight you've carried is always now. What keeps you tied to yesterday? Is it guilt over something you wish you could undo? Is it the way others betrayed you, leaving scars that still burn when you think of them? Is it the fear that if you try again, the same pain will come back? These are chains you have allowed to remain wrapped around your heart, yet the key has always been in your hands. You do not have to earn the right to move on. You already have it. You do not need to prove you are worthy of a new beginning. You already are. When you step away from the grip of the past, you are not dishonoring what happened. You are honoring what is possible. Every ending is also a beginning. Every loss created space for something greater. Every moment of pain carved out capacity for deeper joy. If you look back, you will see that even in your darkest hours, something in you survived, that part of you, the part that refuses to give up, the part that knows there is more. That is your truth. That is who you really are. The journey forward will not always feel easy. There will be days when memories resurface, when old fears return, when doubts try to call you back. But with each step you take, those voices grow quieter. With each breath you choose to live for today instead of yesterday, the light around you grows stronger. The trap begins to dissolve and you begin to see clearly. Your life is not behind you, it is ahead. What happened does not define you. What you decide right now does. This moment is calling you to release the chains, to take a step, even if it is small, toward the future that has been waiting for you. You are not late, you are not broken beyond repair, you are not bound forever to what once was. You are becoming, you are transforming, you are rising into the life that was always meant to be yours. The hardest part of letting go is not the act itself, but the quiet moments that follow. when silence makes you wonder if you made the right choice. In those moments, the mind will try to play tricks, bringing back every memory that once hurt you, reminding you of the comfort of what is familiar, even if that familiarity was pain. You may find yourself asking, what if I fail again? What if moving forward only leads me back to the same place? But the truth is this: stepping into something new is never about certainty, it is about courage. Certainty belongs to the past. It has already shown you what it holds. Courage belongs to the future because it is the bridge that carries you into the unknown where possibility lives. Every time you feel the urge to turn back, remember that the past offers nothing new. You have already seen its outcome, already tasted its bitterness, already lived through its weight. Going back will only repeat a cycle that drains you, but moving forward, no matter how small the step, opens doors you have not yet seen. Each forward step plants you on ground where hope can grow again. It may feel shaky at first, but the strength you need is not found in clinging to what was. It is found in daring to face what can be. Think about how many opportunities you have already missed by holding on to yesterday. Think about the conversations you never started, the dreams you never pursued, the love you never allowed in because a part of you was still living in the past. When you refuse to move, life cannot deliver what it has been holding for you. The gifts meant for your hands cannot find you if you are hiding in the shadows of what used to be. But the moment you decide to rise, to walk into a new chapter, life responds. Paths open, doors unlock, people appear who carry the very light you once thought you had lost. It is not weakness to admit that the past has hurt you. It is not weakness to feel the sting of old memories, but it becomes weakness when you let those memories determine the quality of your present. You are stronger than what happened to you. You are greater than the pain you endured. The evidence of that is that you are still here, listening, breathing, seeking more. If the past truly had power over you, you would not have survived it, but you did. That means you already won. Sometimes the most dangerous lies are the ones that sound like protection. Don't try again, you'll only fail. Don't trust anyone, they'll only betray you. Don't hope, you'll only be disappointed. These are the chains that pretend to keep you safe. They speak in the voice of caution, but they are not truth. They are fear disguised as wisdom. True wisdom says, yes, the past happened, but it does not dictate the future. True wisdom says you can learn from yesterday without living in it. True wisdom says every fall was only a rehearsal for the strength you carry now. Freedom is not about erasing what happened, it is about refusing to be controlled by it. Your scars do not disappear, but they lose their power to hurt you when you stop touching them with regret. They become reminders of what you overcame, not evidence of your defeat. When you look at them and see survival, see resilience, see proof that you endured, then the trap loses its grip. You walk lighter, you walk freer. And as you continue to move forward, you begin to notice that life was never against you. Even in the darkest moments, something inside you kept whispering to hold on. Even in the moments when you felt abandoned, there was a spark that kept you alive. That spark is what is pulling you now into the next season. It is not calling you backward. It is not asking you to repeat the old. It is asking you to rise, to expand, to discover what you were always meant to be. So when the temptation comes to sit in the ruins, to rehearse the old conversations, to revisit the places where you were broken, remind yourself, nothing grows there anymore. That soil has already given you all it could. Now, there is a field ahead, waiting for you to plant new seeds. And the moment you dare to step onto it, you begin to write a story that no past can erase. There comes a moment when you realize that the only thing holding you back is not the world around you, but the thoughts you keep feeding. The past does not chase you, it waits quietly. knowing that you will return if you allow fear to guide your steps. That is why breaking free begins in the mind. The stories you tell yourself shape the reality you experience. If you keep repeating, I will always be this way, or I can never change, then the trap tightens. But the moment you say, I am not who I was, I am becoming something greater, the chains begin to fall. Words carry weight. Thoughts create atmosphere, and when your inner dialogue shifts from defeat to determination, your outer world begins to transform as well. You may have noticed how quickly the past tries to invade when you are about to make progress. Right when you decide to change, memories of your lowest points rush in. Right when you start to dream again, voices of doubt echo louder. It is not coincidence, it is resistance. Growth always comes with pressure. The mind resists leaving what it has known, even if what it has known is pain. That is why courage is essential. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is the decision to move forward despite it. Consider how many times life has given you signs to step out of old cycles. The people who left, the doors that closed, the situations that forced you to release what was no longer serving you, those were not punishments, they were instructions. They were messages pushing you to step into a higher version of yourself. Yet so often we interpret endings as failures instead of transitions. We cling to what has expired because it is painful to admit it no longer belongs. But when something falls away, it is because it has already completed its purpose. The longer you hold on, the heavier you become. The moment you release, you feel lighter than you thought possible. Think about a traveller carrying an old bag filled with broken glass. Every step cuts deeper into their skin, but still they grip the bag tightly, believing they need it. Freedom only comes when the bag is dropped. And how long have you been carrying what cuts you? Old betrayals, words spoken against you, opportunities lost, mistakes made. They sit like shards in your memory. But you were never meant to carry them into your tomorrow. You are being asked to drop the weight, to trust that your hands are meant to hold something better. There is power in recognizing that the past cannot be changed, but the meaning you assign to it can. You cannot rewrite the events, but you can decide how you will view them. You can see them as proof of your weakness, or you can see them as evidence of your endurance. You can interpret them as punishment, or you can interpret them as preparation. The lens through which you see your past determines the steps you take into your future. Moving forward is not about pretending the pain never existed. It is about refusing to let the pain dictate the direction of your life. Healing does not mean erasing memories. It means transforming them into wisdom. What once broke you becomes the reason you are strong enough now. What once silenced you becomes the reason you speak louder now. What once made you doubt becomes the reason you believe more fiercely now. Every scar can either remind you of loss or remind you of victory. The choice is yours. This process is not instantaneous. Some days you will feel like you are moving quickly, other days it will feel like you are standing still. But even standing still in the present is better than living backward in the past. Progress is not always about speed, it is about direction. And as long as your eyes are set on what lies ahead, you are moving towards the life you are meant to live. So when old memories surface, when regret tries to tighten its grip, when fear whispers that you should turn back, answer with action. Do not argue with the voice of the past, outwalk it. Every forward step is proof that you have already won. Every decision to continue is evidence that the trap has lost its hold. And as you keep walking, you will notice that the past grows smaller in the distance until one day it is nothing more than a story you tell about how you rose. The journey of breaking away from what once defined you is not a single moment, but a series of choices made day after day. Each morning you are given a decision, to wake up and rehearse the same memories that hold you back, or to step into the possibility of something new. At first, it feels unnatural. The past calls with a voice that sounds like home, even though that home is empty. But as you continue to choose growth over fear, the unfamiliar slowly becomes the familiar. The weight you once carried begins to feel unnecessary. The version of you that belonged to yesterday begins to fade, and the version of you destined for tomorrow starts to rise. Think of how the seasons change. Winter does not argue with spring. The trees do not cling to old leaves that have already died. They release them without hesitation, trusting that new life is on its way. You are no different. The things that once mattered, the identities that once fit, the roles you once played, they have all served their purpose. They are not wrong, but they are no longer necessary. Your growth demands release. Your evolution requires it. And when you let go, you make space for what is waiting to bloom. One of the greatest illusions is the belief that healing happens once and then it is done forever. In reality, healing is a rhythm. It is a process that deepens over time. There will be moments when the old pain resurfaces, when the past tries to test your commitment. Do not see those moments as failure. They are reminders of how far you have come. Once those memories held power over you. Now you can face them and keep walking. That is victory. Healing is not about erasing scars, but about walking with them and still choosing to live fully. You may notice that as you begin to rise, not everyone around you will understand. Some will try to remind you of who you used to be, not because they want to hurt you, but because they are comfortable keeping you where they last recognized you. But you cannot allow the perception of others to trap you in a life you have outgrown. They cannot see the transformation happening inside you. They do not feel the calling that pulls you forward. And so even if it feels lonely at times, you must trust that leaving behind the old is not abandonment, it is alignment. You are aligning with the version of yourself that was always meant to emerge. Imagine walking through a door into a room filled with light. Behind you is a room filled with broken mirrors, each reflecting a distorted image of who you once were. You cannot step fully into the new room if you keep one foot in the old. The light will never feel complete if you continue glancing back into the shadows. The power comes when you close the door completely, when you say, I honor what was, but I choose what is and what will be. That choice is freedom. That choice is strength. The truth is, no one else can make that decision for you. People can encourage you, inspire you, guide you, but the step is yours alone. And that is the beauty of it. Your freedom does not depend on anyone else's permission. Your transformation is not limited by anyone else's timeline. The key has been in your hand all along. All that is required is the courage to turn it. As you step further into this new season, you will notice how much lighter life feels. What once triggered you will no longer have the same effect. What once defined you will no longer feel like your identity. And the more you walk, the more you realize that you were never truly trapped. You only believed you were. The door was always open, the future was always calling. And now, by moving forward, you are finally answering that call. There will come a point where the silence of your own heart feels louder than the noise of the world around you. That silence is not emptiness. It is guidance. It is the voice within that tells you when you have carried something for too long. You might wake up one day and realize that the anger you once held no longer serves you, or that the disappointment you kept replaying has lost its edge. This is the sign that you are ready to move. Healing often arrives not with a dramatic breakthrough, but with a quiet shift, a moment when you notice you are no longer defined by the things that once consumed you. That subtle shift is the proof of growth, the evidence that you are not stuck, no matter how much the past tried to convince you otherwise. When you stop allowing old wounds to control you, something powerful begins to unfold. You notice new desires rising within you, dreams you once buried out of fear, hopes you once silenced because you believed they were too big. The past tries to tell you those dreams are impossible, but your spirit knows better. It knows that those very dreams are the reason you are here. They are not fantasies, they are instructions for your future. And the more you give them space, the more they begin to align the world around you to make themselves real. You might feel resistance, as though invisible hands are trying to pull you backward. That resistance is not proof that you are failing. It is proof that you are moving in the right direction. Growth always shakes the ground beneath you. Think of a seed breaking open in the soil. The pressure around it is not meant to destroy it, but to push it upward. In the same way, the discomfort you feel is a sign that you are breaking out of an old shell. The trap of yesterday cannot contain you anymore because your spirit has outgrown it. One of the greatest lies the past tells is that you will never be more than what you once were. It tries to convince you that because you made mistakes, you are forever marked by them, or that because you were abandoned once, you will always be abandoned. But that is not the truth. What happened to you is not a prophecy. It is a closed chapter. You are not bound to repeat it. Every day you wake up, you are given new choices. Every moment you breathe, you have a chance to create something different. The past may echo, but it cannot dictate. You're the one writing now. As you continue to step forward, you will start to notice synchronicities, small signs that confirm you are on the right path. A conversation that speaks exactly to your situation. An opportunity that arrives when you least expect it. A door opening just as another one closes. These are not accidents. They are reminders that once you release the grip of yesterday, life itself begins to align with your courage. It is as if the universe has been waiting for you to decide, and once you do, it rushes to meet you with everything you need. But you must stay committed even when it feels uncertain. The past does not disappear in a single step. Sometimes it lingers, trying to draw you back with familiar thoughts. But each time you choose to walk forward, you weaken its pull. Each time you affirm that you are not defined by what happened, you grow stronger. And over time, you look back and realize the chains that once seemed unbreakable were never locked. They only felt that way because you believed they were. The beauty of this journey is that it does not erase who you were. It redeems it. Every tear you cried becomes a part of your strength. Every setback becomes part of your wisdom. Every failure becomes part of your resilience. You are not discarding your past, you are transforming it. What once looked like loss now looks like preparation. What once looked like weakness now looks like power. And as you walk in this understanding, you carry yourself differently. You no longer look backward with regret, you look forward with expectation. This is the moment where you begin to live not as a prisoner of what was, but as a creator of what will be. And that is the true freedom, not to pretend the past never happened, but to know that it no longer defines you. You are walking into a life where the only thing stronger than memory is possibility. And the only thing louder than regret is hope. The final stage of leaving the weight of yesterday is not only stepping away from what once held you, it is stepping fully into who you are becoming. Too often people focus so much on escaping the past that they forget to embrace the present. But freedom is not only about letting go, it is about picking up something new. It is about building a life that reflects the strength, wisdom and courage you discovered along the way. The chains that once bound you were heavy, but once they fall, your hands are empty, and empty hands are not a loss, they are an invitation. They are ready to receive what was always meant for you. This is the time to redefine yourself, to decide consciously who you will be from this moment forward. The past wrote stories about you, some true, some distorted, some painful. But those stories are not permanent ink. You are holding the pen now, and each choice you make writes a new line. Do not waste the opportunity to create with intention. Write with courage, write with love, write with hope. The story of your life is not one of endless cycles, it is one of breakthrough. Every decision you make in the present is proof that the past no longer dictates your future. There will still be temptations to revisit what you left behind. Old patterns may surface, familiar fears may try to creep back in, people from your history may attempt to pull you into old versions of yourself. But now you carry awareness, and awareness is power. Once you have seen the trap for what it is, it cannot hold you the same way again. You may stumble, but you will not stay down. You may feel the pull, but you will not be captured. You have already proven that you can walk away, and you will continue to do so each time life tests your resolve. In this new space, it is important to trust the process of unfolding. You will not always see the full picture of where you are going. At times, you may feel like you are walking in the dark, uncertain of what comes next, but trust does not require full vision. It requires steady steps. The light appears as you move, not before. You are not asked to have everything figured out. You are only asked to keep moving, one step at a time, in the direction of freedom. Each step taken in faith becomes a foundation under your feet. Think of all the times you thought you would never recover, yet here you are. Think of the moments you believed the pain would last forever, yet it did not. Every season that once seemed unbearable has passed, and this one will too. The difference now is that you are no longer walking in circles, you are walking forward. And because of that, life is opening to you in ways it never could before. Opportunities are appearing not because they were absent before, but because you were not ready to receive them. Now you are. The beauty of release is that it creates space for abundance. When your hands are no longer full of what is broken, you can finally hold what is whole. When your mind is no longer occupied by regret, you can finally focus on possibility. When your heart is no longer chained by fear, you can finally feel love, peace, and joy in their fullness. The things you once chased now begin to flow toward you because you are no longer blocking them with the weight of yesterday. This transformation is not just about survival, it is about thriving. You did not walk through everything you faced just to remain standing still. You endured so that you could rise higher, live fuller, and shine brighter. Every scar, every tear, every sleepless night becomes fuel for the light you now carry. You are no longer a victim of your past. You are a witness of resilience, a testimony of strength. And your life, as it continues to unfold, will reflect that truth. Now, as you stand on the edge of tomorrow, the choice is in your hands. You can look back or you can move forward. You can rehearse the same stories or you can write new ones. You can cling to what was or you can step boldly into what will be. The door has been open all along. The only thing left is for you to walk through it without hesitation, without fear, without regret. And when you do, you will realize that you were never truly trapped. You are only being prepared for this moment. This is your time to live free. This is your time to rise. This is your time to embrace the life that has been waiting for you beyond the shadows. And as you move forward, you will discover that the past no longer has the power to define you because the future has already claimed you. And as you continue this journey, remember that forward motion is not always loud or visible. Sometimes progress looks like small daily choices. Choosing peace instead of anger, choosing forgiveness instead of bitterness, choosing hope instead of despair. These choices may feel quiet, but they build strength over time. A river carves through stone not because of force, but because of persistence. In the same way, your steady commitment to keep walking will carve out a future far greater than anything you left behind. There will be days when the past feels closer than the future, when memories try to overshadow your vision. But those are the very days when your choice matters most.